Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I just finished untracking 94 objects of debris. Hopefully that'll make things run a little bit smoother. Also, I restarted the game, so it'll probably run a little bit smoother for a little while. Okay, let's see here. This is the Geraldo Mark II. Is this what we're supposed to be flying? Yeah, this is what we're supposed to be flying. We are not looking... Ah, here we are. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, I know where we are. So let's go ahead and set Tylo as our target. And we are about 1.5 degrees off, but that's fine. We'll just do a very simple match planes with target, create, and execute. 50 meters per second. Easy peasy. Node in 6 days, so that should not be too bad. So once we've done that, we'll obviously just do a quick intercept burn and then do a braking burn, figure out where we're going to go down, grab a little bit of data on our way, most likely. But it should be relatively efficient. Ish. 50 meters per second for the inclination change is not bad, though. All things considered. We've got plenty of delta V here. Also, I can't help but notice that these engines have a thrust to weight of 5.53 here. So there's that. That's fine. I figured they would be overkill on the way in. I didn't think the Delta V stats were correct, and I guess I was right. But it's fine. It's better to have overkill than underkill, if you will. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice little encounter. If we burn basically right here, that'll probably get us pretty close to an encounter, yeah? Oh, that's an inclination change. That's not what I was looking for. Let's go ahead and move our burn to here. I could be using MechJeb, but for whatever reason, I don't feel like it immediately. It looks like we are going to need a phasing orbit, most likely. We're basically on opposite sides. Okay, now I feel like using MechJeb. I don't want to mess with a phasing orbit. Let's just home and transfer to the target. Create. Actually, abort that node execution. Just create the node. I want to make sure that this is not horrible. And it's horrible. Okay. Good job, MechJeb. Let's just adjust this a bit. Let's see here. There we go. That's nice. Let's go to... I don't know what the minimum safe altitude is. Let's go to about, let's call it just over 50 kilometers for warping speed. 51 kilometers. That'll be perfect. 89.3 meters per second in 30 days. Okay, so we're not going to do a phasing orbit. That's fine. Sounds good to me. Okay, why are we not warping, MechJeb? Any particular reason? There we go. Now we're warping. Okay, I was just going to physics warp the turn, but I guess that is unnecessary. That's fine. Joule just keeps going by. So yeah, that was like 3 phasing orbits then. Okay. Right? That was like 3 phasing orbits. Yeah. That was several phasing orbits. Absolutely. Our orbits are about 11 days, so that was pretty much exactly 3 phasing orbits. Sounds great. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do our home and transfer. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and physics warp that particular burn. Excellent. We still have lots of Delta V to do our landing with. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here. Yep, we are basically at perfect altitude here. That's basically exactly where I want it to be. So at the periapsis, we are going to go ahead and do a retrograde burn. That's going to take very little Delta V. And that's not quite where I want to be. That's more like it. Excellent. About 800 Delta V to do our braking maneuver. That is not bad. Not bad at all. Gonna go ahead and physics warp the turn. Node in T-minus 2 days, 5 hours. Okay. Well, that won't take long. Where are you, Tylo? You should be basically... Oh, there you are. Hello, Tylo. Okay, and we will be warping to the... basically the other side of Tylo. I mean, like, halfway around Tylo. Right around here is where we'll be warping to. Ish. Okay, it is the other side of Tylo. Excellent. Okay, well, let's get this burn done. And there goes our braking burn. Fantastic. That'll be about a 5-minute burn. So that will not be too bad at all. And in the meantime, we need to decide where we want to land on Tylo. And I'm thinking that it kinda doesn't matter. We've already got our in-space near, it looks like. So I'm gonna guess that the Odd1 Mark V Stupid Edition is close enough. So let's see here. Body. What is the low space altitude? Oh, okay, below 250k. Yeah, we've definitely got that. Excellent. So the minimum safe altitude is 30 kilometers. So I think at this point, we just do a standard land. I don't think we need to go around for anything. We're in the same inclination, pretty much, as our satellite here. That's a slightly different inclination, but it's a very similar inclination. I don't think we're gonna get any extra biomes or anything. And even if we did, we don't really need the science. So, yeah, I think we just go ahead and land and get our science data from the surface. That's absolutely what we need right now. So, let's, there we go. We are currently moving at about 2,000 delta V. That's fine, or 2,000 meters per second. What is our surface speed? About the same. So we'll actually be able to kill our speed with our nuclear engine. That said, the nuclear engine doesn't have the thrust to weight to be able to actually bring us to a stop vertically. So we're going to need to go to horizontal velocity minus and kill our horizontal speed with our nuclear engine, but our vertical speed is not going to be very viable to kill with our nuclear engine. We'll have to have that be what these studs do. Just double checking staging here. Okay, looks good. I'm gonna save in case I do something horribly wrong. Angle a bit there. And let's go ahead and burn off as much horizontal speed as we can. Purely horizontal speed, of course. Our vertical speed is also going down right now, but that will not last. Okay, so where is our landing info? Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we do have an impact currently, and our impact time is in about 10 minutes. We're going to need to continue to burn off as much horizontal speed as we can. And we definitely need to go until our speed is below this 1344 meters per second. There's no doubt about that. So let's just burn off as much speed as we can here. Our impact time is going down substantially, which is a wee bit unfortunate. May have come in too low. I don't know. Maybe we just don't have the time to burn off the... I don't know. I think we're okay. I think we're fine. We've got 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes here, and we have 12 minutes of burn in here. We only need to reduce by another 500 meters per second, so I'm going to go ahead and physics warp this, and we'll see how exactly this goes. Okay. So where is our landing position? Over there? Okay. Gravity here is a little higher than I expected, to be sure. We're about 2 minutes to impact right now. Okay. We only have 25 seconds in our sky crane. Now about 1 minute to impact. I'm going to unphysics warp, and we'll see how this goes. Keep burning as much as we can. Gonna go to surface velocity minus. Okay. Impact time of 30 seconds. We're still cruising really fast. But I'd very much like to burn as much delta V as we can. But we gotta go. Whoa now. Okay. That's not what I expected. Interesting. Okay. So much for this. Okay. So, things that I learned. 1. Having those be off-center like that. Very big deal. I kind of thought that might happen. 2. We came in too low for the nuclear engine. So the 5.92 meters, or the 5.92 here, I mean, it worked. If it wasn't off center. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this fail. Kaboom. There we go. Mission failed. We did get a world first milestone, so that's something. But I'm gonna eat the cost of that. That was entirely my mistake. There were no bugs there. There was nothing that I didn't understand. It was entirely me messing up. So I will completely eat that cost. I will take full responsibility. So let's go ahead and open this guy back up. Now, modifications. A. We clearly need this to be properly centered. Let's go ahead and have mirror symmetry. And let's make it be much more centered. That should be good. Secondly, do we need this tank? We had what, like 5k delta V left over? How much delta V is this tank? Let's find out. Only about 1k. I think we ditch that tank. I think that'll be just fine. Okay, with these modifications, let's double check our staging. And we can go again, and this time we will, or rather I will not completely mess it up. Also, another thing, these studs are overkill. So let's go to Tylo here, and let's grab, instead of the thuds, let's try the cubs again. So right about there, 0.71 according to MechJeb. According to Kerbal Engineer, 2.49. So let's check with the thuds. Okay, Kerbal Engineer is getting it right for Tylo. It's MechJeb that is wrong. Okay. So we are going to use cubs in that case. Cubs should be more than sufficient. We'll ditch the thuds. That will save us weight. That weight save actually just about got back the delta V from this fuel tank. So yeah, this is a far more efficient design. Also, thrust to weight, because of the reduced fuel of this, will be much, much better. And all things considered, this should be a more successful attempt. I do want to run a quick test here, and this will be reverted, 100%. However, I want to run a quick test here to make sure that our sky crane is well aligned. So what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and deploy the fairing. Like I said, this will be reverted. I'm going to... where are you? Where's that decoupler? I'm going to activate this decoupler. And we're just going to fly straight up. Surface up. Do we have correct control? Let's find out. That looks okay. Yeah, that looks fine. We've got decent control. Good. Like I said, that will be reverted. Revert back to launch. Just wanted to double check. And let's get this thing back to Tylo. ASAP. Engage autopilot. And we are going to skip circularization. And let's go. Excellent. Okay. So, this is probably going to be a slightly less efficient transfer window, but that's okay. Also, once we are on escape trajectory, I do want to go back and check our asteroid station, because we did burn like 3 years on that failed rover mission. So let's take a quick look at that while we're on our escape trajectory. However, that won't be for a little bit yet. We'll need to get this thing up first. Oh my. What is this issue? What are you doing, MechJeb? Okay, so why are you having an issue with this design? Let's go back to the vehicle assembly. A couple of things. One, I forgot to redesign the fairing. We're using the smaller engines now. So let's go ahead and edit this fairing. And we'll take it down to about here-ish. Actually, let's do about here-ish. And then basically just like that. That buys us a little extra delta V. Now, why did MechJeb have an issue with that? Well, we've got our reaction wheel here. We've got a reaction wheel here. We did shorten the rocket, which should make it more stable. We don't have a reaction wheel in this center stage beyond this one. Let's try this again, and I'm going to have MechJeb's, oh, what's the term? I forget what the term is. The term is force roll climb. We're going to turn off the force roll climb. Okay. Let's try this again. We'll see if MechJeb can control this. If not, I don't know what to say. MechJeb shouldn't have an issue with this. This is the same rocket we've launched dozens of times. You okay, MechJeb? MechJeb looks okay this time. It's not just completely freaking out. Of course, it took it a little while to freak out last time. Let's go ahead and get the roll over here. Okay. It's doing a bit of corrective steering right now, because apparently that roll broke it a little bit. Okay, this is about the time when it started really losing control before, right at about max Q. Okay, it is losing control a bit here. But it seems to have regained it. Oh! That's the problem. Okay. I don't know if you saw that, but one of those engines cut out early, which means that the problem is that there isn't a fuel line connecting all of these engines in. I just assumed that there was, but it's only on this tank where the fuel line is being connected in. I just assumed when I put it back on that it was correctly connected, but it wasn't. It only connected one of the tanks back up. So let's go ahead and do that, except with four-way symmetry. Like so. There. Now MechJeb shouldn't have an issue. It was trying to compensate for the fuel from one tank being drained much faster than the fuel from the other tanks, because this tank was fueling this engine and this engine. So it was draining twice as fast from this tank than it was any of the other external tanks, thereby causing the imbalance that MechJeb was struggling with. I should have checked that earlier. But this launch, this one will go fine. The fact that MechJeb had it under control for that long is a really good sign. It was only when the gimbaling engine shut off that MechJeb started to lose control. So let's do this, and now, oh wow, that actually bought us like an extra 2,000 Delta V. This is going to be kind of insane, I think. The fact that we gained that much Delta V by reducing our fuel. I like it. I mean, it does bear noting that there is diminishing returns, so it's not a huge surprise. Let's put it that way. I just wanted to have better thrust to weight when we actually got there, is the big thing. But yeah, this is going perfectly fine. This is exactly as anticipated, and that explains why MechJeb started to lose control when I adjusted the roll, because it was almost certainly with the empty-ish tank, it was almost certainly having that one face directly down, so it didn't really affect that much, but then I rolled and it was slightly off. But yeah, absolutely no problems through max Q. That was 100% the issue there. Also known as, I am an idiot and I did not double check my staging. Always check your staging. Technically it wasn't the staging that was the problem. Technically it was the fact that I detached here and then reattached. But even so, always double check that sort of thing. So we're going to have our side boosters burning out momentarily, but we are pushing up very close to 100%. We'll have about 7 seconds left. Oh my. That's exciting. Okay. Let's combat that with RCS. Get on back over. Fantastic. Let's ditch our fairing. Nice. That got us about an extra 300 Delta V. Okay. We are just about ready to go. We are skipping circularization, so lock to prograde, RCS off, and let's go. We'll burn off our booster stages right about now. And off we go. This is certainly a much, much better designed rocket. As far as being able to actually land, well, we definitely will be able to actually land with this. There was too much thrust to weight in the engines, but the bigger thing was simply that they were off-center. That was definitely... If I was redesigning it, why didn't I just fix the solar panels? At this point, they are what they are. I'm never gonna remember to fix the solar panels. Okay. I mean, I suppose I could make a note of it. Let's see here. Remember to fix solar panels on rover. There we go. Now I'll remember eventually. When that eventually will be, who knows. Not this launch, though. It is certainly not going to be this launch. Okay, so we're going to be able to push out pretty well here. We'll have a fair amount of Delta V left over. And as you can see, our amount of Delta V in our Sky Crane is much, much higher with these lighter engines as well. So this should be pretty great. Oh, we can stop burning. We are well at escape velocity here. Looks like we are not... Oh, we burned basically to Eve there accidentally. Okay. That's fine. I mean, ultimately, we'll just warp to right about here. Cannot auto-warp so far. Oh, are we in an encounter with the moon? Yes, we are. Let's double-check that. Okay, that looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and just warp on up. Oop, there we go. Keep warping. Keep on a warping. And let's escape. Excellent. Okay. With that done, let's go ahead and set Jewel as our target. And as usual, maneuver planner, match planes, create and execute. 21 days. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this burn. And then I do realize that we are currently slightly over our time, but that's okay. So go ahead and get there with that particular burn. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform this burn, and then we're going to check it. Actually, no. Next episode, we'll check in on the Jewel base. That'll be fine. But let's just get this burn done. It'll not take very long at all. Simple inclination change. And that'll be happening very soon now. We probably should also go ahead and extend our antenna. That usually helps. So that way we can have some probe control. There we go. Excellent. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode we will go check on our Jewel base, and then we will take this thing back to Tylo. See you all then.